down and lower it.
Okay.
So I wound up having to make 3 different files, all the same audio track.
No.
Stop the first one. Then the second one was just that loud noise that I had to lower the volume down. Yeah. And then the third one was from that point on.
Oh, no. Sorry, buddy.
That's okay. I'm sure there was a better way to do it. I just didn't know it, and I just figured, I'm like, this is the easiest thing for me to do at this point. So.
Yep. All right, I'm going to share us out a wee bit. Banthamilk. Share us to my Face Libre. Hey, I don't want you to be loud. It's going to be loud. Sorry about that.
I'm having to make 3 different files.
There it is. It's you.
That's me. I hear me.
And your video is weird. Hold on. Let's check that video feed. Looks good on my end. All right. Let's hit play here.
Check. Let me see this. I look laid back and relaxed and all chill.
You are laid back and relaxed.
I am.
Chill. All right. Blast this bad boy out on the Facebooks.
Blast it out to the books of face.
Face Libre, which is not even close to Facebook in Spanish, but it's what I call it.
That's a good thing to call it. I was trying to say on Saturday, say September in Spanish.
Yeah.
And
did you say El September?
No, I said Septembre, but I think that's actually
it's
French.
Close. Septiembre.
Yeah. Septiembre.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Septembre is French. And Sherry and Cameron wouldn't let me say it. And that has something to do with if Cameron comes down here, what we did, which was fun.
Oh, okay. I'm excited about it.
Yes.
Well, we are live on the YouTubes. I'm posting us up on all the normal places on Facebook before we go live. Ooh, you know what? I think this mic is going to make me sneeze.
Bless you. There it was.
Thank you. All right, let's get this out to Geek Life.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it showing up yet.
What do you mean?
In my feed.
For YouTube or
for YouTube, yeah.
If you go to if you type in Banthamilk in the YouTube, like in the search,
okay.
It should show up because mine did.
I'll just do this in the search then. Banthamilk podcast. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Peacemaker live now. Oh my gosh! And of course, now live, my dogs are barking. Look at me. Oh, it was funny also. Oh, never mind. I was just gonna say, with your doorbell, just added to it.
Yeah. All right, we're posted up in Geek Life. Now we're gonna go in the other one.
In the other one.
In the Sacred Jedi Text.
Sacred Jedi Text.
Do you wanna get this show on the road?
Let's get this show on the road. Intro music.
Wait, that's not it.
What? He's no good to me, Dad.
Intro music. Intro music.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
Yes, it is.
Very complicated
Very
indeed.
complicated.
Indeed. So complicated, in fact, that if we decided to do something on a different... I feel like every show we're like, okay, what are we going to do today? But now we're taking it a galaxy closer to home.
We are.
And we're going to talk not even Star Wars today. That's how complicated
we are.
Has become. But anyway,
we're going.
We are Banthamilk Podcast. We're up here. You can see it.
There
it's
we
right
are.
behind me. I've moved my sign.
It's a little high, but it's okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, for next time, I'll bring it down a little lower. How you doing, Rob?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's Sunday.
Sunday. We're coming at you live.
Raceway Auto Mall.
That comedian was awesome. I don't want anybody coming at me. I'm sitting in my underwear on the sofa. Stop it.
Who is that?
I don't remember.
I remember that too. Oh boy. Anyway, it is a nice Sunday here in Banthamilk headquarters, and we're coming back at you live, and we're going to talk a little bit of do we have any Star Wars news today?
We have a little Star Wars news.
All right, so we'll talk a little Star Wars today. We'll the one thing we always never want to do. We always never want to do that.
Always never want to.
We never want to give y'all false information. So we're not going to be those podcasters that will feed you all the rumors, because you can find those yourself. And I can guarantee you, I don't really feel like talking to you about, is Darth Maul. Well, I guess there was the whole thing with Darth Maul, right?
Was he going to be in Obi-Wan or not?
Did we talk about that last time? I feel like we might
have.
But like...
No.
So the rumor there being that Darth Maul was supposed to be in it, but they cut him for Anakin because we saw Ray Park like getting all Instagrammed up and stuff.
I remember that post from a long time ago where Ray Park had a picture of his like headgear, his
his
horns and stuff, and he was like getting it ready.
Yep. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. I'm betting there's a lot of disinformation going around anyway. Like, I'm betting Filoni's feeding some disinformation.
I'm sure
out there
he's trying to. Yeah.
Oh man, did you hear Jar Jar's coming back in Mandalorian?
Jar Jar would be amazing.
Yeah, anyway,
Dark Jar Jar.
We do have some.
Like your deep dive on Dark Jar Jar.
I don't know how I'd feel about that. Would you be okay? Would you be happy or angry about a Darth Jar Jar showing up?
If there was a Darth Jar Jar showing up
in Obi-Wan specifically,
specifically in Obi-Wan, I think it would be a complete waste of a storyline.
Okay, so it needs to be a multi-season thing. The Obi-Wan, we've only got 6 episodes. We got to keep.
We don't have time, and especially since like their shows are 30 to 40 minutes long. Like I don't have time to waste on stupid Darth Jar Jar just as filler. You know,
unless they're gonna make it a thing.
Unless it's a thing. Unless
somehow... If Darth Jar Jar is going to become the new ultimate big bad in the Star Wars universe, and it's going to span multiple things like Kang the Conqueror.
Right, exactly. You heard it here first, folks.
Darth Jar Jar.
Darth Jar Jar and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
We just started a rumor.
We did. We started our own fake news. That's right.
Love it. Anyway,
I
got Banthamilk I need to pour.
Yes. I don't know if it's just my feed or not, but I'm looking at the YouTubes on my screen here, and I'm looking frozen.
Really? I'm looking at it, and you look okay.
Okay, good. Maybe it's just because I'm going off of Wi-Fi that's probably being way
I'm
overused.
Hardwired.
You're hardwired in. As long as you're seeing it okay, that's all I care about.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about our Banthamilk. I don't even know when I got this Banthamilk. So
what is it?
It is called Wilson Mountain Style IPA from Roadhouse Brewing Co.
Wilson.
And Wilson is a lizard as opposed to the volleyball. But yes, I'm guessing that lizard is Wilson, or iguana maybe is Wilson.
I guess that would be an iguana. Huh?
Yeah, it looks like it.
I don't really know the difference between the many different types of lizards.
This is from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, USA.
Jackson Hole.
Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Yes, Hole.
Jackson Hole.
Yeah, so I don't even know. I don't know how long it's been in my refrigerator. I don't know how good it is. But you know what? It's beer, so who cares?
True.
Let's see if it makes a snap.
Oh, that was
that was a good one.
That was solid.
For not knowing the age of it, that was a solid snap.
I think that bodes well.
Yes, I definitely think it does.
I've just got my nice little, flask here of my Banthamilk. My Banthamilk of choice is bourbon whiskey.
Always. You love the bourbon whiskey.
I do. And the fun thing about this flask is I got this flask when I lived in Louisiana. I was playing a lot of gigs.
Okay.
And it's not like practical at all, but it's just cool because it's got this little insert on the inside, and you can take it out. It turns into a shot glass.
Oh.
Right? So if you wanted to share with people.
Very nice.
But anyway,
that's my pretty cool. You
show and tell for the day.
I had a pair of flip-flops that had a bottle opener on the bottom of it. Yeah.
Wow, so you're ready for a party?
I'm ready for a party, even at the beach.
You got a lot of head on there, Rob.
Not too bad. A little more than I wanted, but not too bad.
That's all right. You'll make it.
Anyway, whatever.
To your health in Ostrovia.
That's right.
Next year in Jerusalem.
Yes.
I don't know. Whatever you're supposed to say.
Whatever. I don't know. Cheers.
Oh yeah. How do we think?
It's not bad. No.
Stood the test of time in the fridge.
Stood the test of time. Yeah, it's actually very nice.
All right.
I'm hoping that it would probably be even better. I don't know when it can't. Like I said, but it's good for as long as it's been in my fridge. So I really can't complain.
That's quality. That's durability. Yeah. That's endurance.
That is.
You got the Banthamilk seal of approval.
Yes, you do.
For what was
for
this?
Roadhouse Brewing Company.
Yeah, with the iguana.
Jackson Hole. Yes, Wilson Mountain Style IPA. It stood the test of time.
And stood the Banthamilk test of time.
And stood the Banthamilk test of time. That's right.
All right. So as we continue our Bantha milking, what's next, Rob? I don't even know what we're doing now.
I don't know. Let's go through. I forget. People might want to get in touch with us. So if they wanted to, they could find us on Facebook. How?
Well, we're on Facebook. You can go to our. First of all, I think the best way to get to us is our Facebook group. It's an interactive way to chat with Rob and I. And our regulars pop into our live stream a lot. So you can check us out on Facebook.com/groups/Sacred Jedi Texts, or else just check us out on Facebook.com/Banthamilk Podcast.
That's right.
You can catch us on Instagram at Banthamilk Podcast. You can catch us on Twitter at Banthamilk. Banthamilk. Just Banthamilk.
Just Banthamilk.
Right, but again,
And we have a web page.
We
that
do.
I hardly ever update.
No, but just wait. There's stuff coming for that.
Is
probably.
there?
I'm gonna talk. I got to talk to Bill.
You got to talk to Bill.
Yeah, I did talk to him, and he was like, "Yeah, let's talk." And then I forgot.
And then you forgot.
Lots of things happen.
You're letting me
in life.
down, Nick. You're
That's,
letting me down. You're so busy. That's why.
It's
so Nick
true.
is the world traveler. He was just on another podcast.
That's true. Last week, I guess it was on Tuesday this past week, I was invited to chat with the gentleman of the Geekery Update. We hang out with the Geekery Update folks in their Facebook group. They have the Geek Squad, and a couple of them hang with us in our Facebook group as well. And I got to hang with them for a while, talk to them, put some faces and names to human beings that I've talked to for a while. We talked a little Peacemaker. We talked a little Book of Boba Fett. We speculated wildly about the future to come. I was a little sleepy that night, so if you check out the live stream, you might see me dozing a little bit. But life of a teacher.
That's right.
But yeah, I wanted to thank the gentleman of Geekery Update for having me on. Hopefully, we can get you out here, be on our podcast at some point, talk a little Star Wars and more. Right?
Yes.
But check out the Geekery Update.
And I learned something. Nick is. They kept calling you a professional musician.
That's what they say.
I was like, okay. Like I never, because I don't know why. You're just always just Dr. Nick to me. So the fact that you are in fact you do get paid to play music. That makes you a professional musician.
As professional a musician as there is.
That's right. Yeah.
In fact, I think I'm more like a professional musician than most because I don't make enough money doing it.
Right, which is what a real musician does.
Right? Like the professional musicians are the ones who play the gigs that are like, "Oh, cool, now I can drive home from the gig," right?
Yes, you're like playing the gig with a bucket at the end and
me.
saying like, "Can somebody give me gas to get home, please?"
Oh yeah. Well, I do play like 50 to 100 gigs a year. No one really knows. It's funny. If you want to be really sad about people absorbing your product, either get a podcast.
Right.
Or be in a band.
Yes.
Because you're like, hey, all my friends, I have this great podcast. And they're like, cool.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, hey, all my friends, I'm going to be playing awesome music at a bar near your house. And they're like, cool.
Crickets.
Yeah, so it's artist life.
It is the artist life. Yep.
But,
until you make it big, and then once you make it big, then all those friends are like,
"Dude, I was
hey,
there. Do you know that? I know that. Guy.
I know him.
Yeah.
I know. Yes.
Now he's a famous saxophone player, playing all around the world, billions of dollars a year. I know that.
I
and
know
that's
that
exactly
guy.
What's going to happen?
Yep.
Just wait.
Well, so when I was in my 20s, way back in the day, we used to go see the same cover band all the time.
Sure.
And so much to the point that I convinced. It wasn't a lot of convincing, but I asked the lead singer if I could pretend I was his brother.
Okay.
And he said, "Sure, why not? I don't care." So I'm telling everybody that I'm adopted and we're related and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool." And it helped. It got us into many doorways that we wouldn't have gotten into before.
Love it. Sometimes the band, and that's the other thing about being in a band. I feel like bands used to get let's buy the band a round of shots or something.
Right.
That does not happen.
Now it doesn't happen anymore.
Never.
Oh.
Once in my career, someone has bought me a drink. It was like last year at a bar in Seattle City. They're like, "Can I get you a drink?" I'm like, "It's happening.
It's happening."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. When we used to go, see my friend's band, because then he would give a shout out like, "Hey, thanks for the shots," and everybody, and then that guy was like, "Yeah, I bought the band shots," and he thought he was big man on campus.
Not
and
anymore.
The band was drinking for free, and they were like, "Yeah, sucker." So.
Yep.
All right. Well, from now on, if you ever see Nick play, buy him
the
a
band
shot.
shots and buy your podcast hosts some too.
Some too as well. Right. Yes, exactly. So we have a special guest, even though you can't see her right now. She's not quite on camera yet, but my daughter is here with us as well. Because
she is a frequent guest on our show.
She is a frequent guest
Long
because
time.
we did something fun this weekend.
And
Cameron
they've been very cryptic about it the whole time.
We didn't even tell Nick yet.
Did you? Oh, I'm going to wait till it's on the air. Oh, I got to. Oh, I'm ready. I'm excited.
Yep. So here you go. I'm going to let Cameron tell you what happened. Well, okay. You said you wanted to tell. So do you want me to tell?
You just want to be here for the moment.
Yes.
I see.
So on Saturday, we were on a game show.
That's right. I saw some pictures of you on that game show.
Yes. So
what was that? That was Classroom?
Classroom. So in Philadelphia area, on Fox 29 News on Philadelphia, or Fox 29, I guess, they now have, for whatever reason, Fox is allowing them to broadcast whatever they want from 6:30 to 7.
Sweet.
So
can we get on there?
We could try. I was already on once. I don't know if we'll get on again. Oh, you mean like Banthamilk?
Yeah.
This will be on
Just
there?
sending up tape.
So they started the show called The Classroom, and I think like 2018 or something like that. And it was a game show designed for schools between students and teachers in the same school. And our school, both our middle school and high school, was in it about right before COVID hit.
Sure, yeah, I remember my first year.
Yeah.
It was a big thing.
So they were on it and everything. Well, they ran out of schools, I guess, is what it comes down to.
Okay.
Or the schools aren't letting them out, or I don't know what the deal is. So
There's
now
not
they
as much participation.
yeah.
Maybe.
So now they changed it to the Classroom Family Edition.
Okay.
They were still only taking 3 contestants. So Sherry asked both our kids if they wanted to be in it, and my son, who's in drama and big musical guy and all that stuff, and very smart. He's going to a very prestigious college in Philadelphia.
Didn't want to do it, did
he didn't want to do it.
the one who's like an actor and wants to be in front of people. You know,
Yeah, he didn't want to do it.
Doesn't that just make sense?
Yeah. So he said no. Cameron said, sure, I'll do it. So then,
What a sport.
So what a sport. So it was the 3 of us. It was Sherry, me, and Cameron. We all went on. And I'm going to ruin it for all the people. It'll be on YouTube eventually as well. And we don't know when it's going to air yet. They said maybe sometime in April.
Okay.
But we crushed them.
You dominated.
We
yeah?
dominated.
Yeah.
We dominated.
All right.
Yeah, it was.
Wow. Cameron's like, yeah, it's not even close.
It wasn't even close. It was really funny.
Good.
Like,
You know, I subscribe to the thought process of if you can beat your opponent, why not demoralize them?
why not
too?
demoralize them? Yeah,
You know?
why not really beat them?
Yeah.
So so that's what we did. We destroyed them. So it was great. But the funny thing about the show is it's set up so that even if you're getting annihilated like the other team was,
Right.
the final round is 3 questions, and each question is worth 100 points.
So
each.
you can still pull
you can
ahead.
still come back. Yeah. So
and yet they didn't.
and yet they didn't.
So what'd you win?
$500. Oh, Cameron, say it. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Well, tell Dr. Nick and all of our viewers what you think we're going to spend the $500 on. Not all of it, but what she wanted.
Spending most of it on.
Okay.
Okay, so I've been doing research.
Okay.
We've been doing this for a while, and with that $500, we're gonna go to a shelter and we're gonna adopt a cat.
Oh my gosh. I'm so very excited for you.
I am too.
How are you feeling about that, Rob?
I just know that I'm going to be the one that's going to be constantly cleaning the litter box.
That's not true.
Sure.
I'm going to.
Sure.
It's gonna be living in my
You see it right here, folks.
You heard it
it's
here.
recorded.
It's recorded.
It's on record.
She said she's going to do it.
It's in my room.
Oh, the litter
It's gonna
box
be
is going to
in
be in
your
your
room?
room?
Yes.
You're not going to want that in
No,
your
the
room.
litter box is not going to be in your room. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be in the
not gonna want
laundry
that.
room, and I guarantee 1 month in, this guy will be the one scooping the poop.
Well, just, congratulations on the coming kitten. And now you know that you have a podcast here in case you need people to name it, right?
Oh, I already
Yes.
named them.
Oh, no. You have a name? You haven't even met the name.
Get closer.
Or met the cat.
I have a whole list of
What?
names.
Give me one of the names.
Well, the number 1 is if it's a boy, it's gonna be Oliver.
Oliver's it's a strong cat name.
Ollie.
Ollie.
nickname.
Yeah, sure. Strong. We almost named one of our cats Oliver, actually.
Okay.
Actually, Dexter, the big fat orange chabby.
Okay. Well, it's going to be Oliver.
Yeah, me too. Well, congratulations on
Yep.
your dominating victory.
So, yeah, it was total domination.
Like, how close are we talking?
Like
So-
100-point difference, I'd say.
No, even like we were up
I think we're at 2.
160 to 40
Oh,
going into the final round.
sure.
So then they got the first question was in what month does fall start?
Right.
In
which
what
is
month does fall start?
September?
September. So they got that right. We got it right also. The second question was this Intentions artist released a 10-part YouTube special documentary on YouTube.
Beyonce?
So it said make sure you have first name and last name.
Beyonce Knowles?
So I was the only one I could think of that would do something like that. I think Lady Gaga had a documentary, but
Right.
it must have been on
Yeah.
maybe Netflix or something. So I'm thinking Lady Gaga. They were thinking, what were you thinking, or what was Mommy thinking?
Ariana Grande.
She thought Ariana Grande. Mommy thought
Had
Taylor Swift. She thought maybe it was Taylor
I
Swift.
knew it was not Taylor Swift.
So who do we wind up
Taylor
being?
Swift is
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Really?
But they
Yeah.
guessed Megan Trainor.
Yes.
So they also
So,
didn't get
yeah.
the points. So,
Alright.
So then they wouldn't get the points.
So
and
then you had one more
So
question.
then, yeah, but at that point they were still 100 point over 120.
Yeah, they couldn't have won
catch up
either
to us.
way.
And then the third question, see if you'll know this. This Winter Classic is held once a year in January. It is played between two teams in what sports league?
This Winter Classic
Yes.
is played once a year.
Once a year. Right around New Year's.
Right around New Year's. And then what's the rest of the question?
In what sports league? So what sports league has this Winter Classic?
Sports league has a winter. I mean, the first thing that popped into my head would be like the Army Navy game or some crap like that.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, you would have been right in line with the other team because
Okay.
they said football as well.
Okay.
It was the NHL. The NHL has the Winter Classic every year.
And you would know this,
And
right?
we knew
Because-
this. Yeah,
because
that was.
you are hockey fans.
I like hockey as
Yeah,
well, and
so-
Sherry knew also, and she's not even as big of a hockey fan as I am.
Well, if you live in a house with a hockey fan, you probably
you
pick up on a thing
you
or
pick
two.
up on things here, there. Yeah. So,
Well, all right. And you
Yeah.
knew that, and not only did you didn't even need to win it. But
No.
you did it anyway.
we did it
Insult
anyway.
to injury, salt
Yep.
in the wound.
So like the first round, we were up by like
The
60,
first
70
round,
points.
we had 70, they had 20.
Yeah, and then there was no looking back. There was they have an art round where you have 3 chances to draw something like charades. The other team, it took them all 3 tries to get it. The mom that was drawing, you have 5 seconds, so you don't have a long time.
Right.
She drew a line and then was like,
Oh no.
and then
Erase it.
and then she's looking for the eraser. She picks up the eraser. She erases it. She draws another line and then goes, and then erases it again.
Bing.
Bing, he
Time's
flips it
over.
around. It's a white board. I'm like, Snow White? I don't know. So it took her 3 times to get it. They finally got it. And then Cameron picked up on my drawing first time. Boom. So we got
Love it.
30 points to their 10 or 5
Looks
or
like
whatever it was.
Jordek in our chat would have gotten that answer correctly too. He said NHL. Good for you.
There you
man.
go. Good,
Rock on.
Jordek.
I would
Yeah.
not have gotten it. Sorry.
So yeah,
I would not have been a valuable asset on
No,
that
you
team.
wouldn't have.
I would have said Beyonce and I would have said football. Wouldn't have worked.
So Cameron got some good pop culture questions. Sherry.
That would be my undoing is the
I
pop
did
culture.
use-
Yeah.
Yeah, the youth stuff. The youths. Youths.
Youths.
See,
Youths.
my wife would know the youth stuff. I would not know
Right.
the youth stuff.
There's one part that was fun. It's called detention.
Okay.
If
no.
you get the answer correct, you can send somebody from the other side into detention.
sure.
If they get it wrong,
They can send.
no. If
you
they get it
go.
wrong, we send somebody from the other side also.
I see.
So they got the first question. I don't even remember what their question was. They got it wrong.
You
so
sent someone to detention.
Cameron was our captain, so she had to send somebody to detention.
Okay.
I
Then
felt so bad.
That's yeah. I think I'd be really bad on a game show too because I would feel bad too. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I'm so
No,
sorry.
I was like, sorry.
Yeah.
So then we get our question right. Another one to detention.
And that's 2 out of 3, right?
2 out of 3.
Oh, great.
And so now it goes back to CJ.
He's the youngest. He's the 7th grader. or
Oh
something.
no.
Oh,
And it was a question about what is the
but like that.
Major League Baseball before the season starts? What do they call their
Spring training.
spring
Yeah,
training?
yeah.
I forget what they called it. So in my head, I'm thinking preseason.
Right.
Sherry whispers spring training to me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right."
Right.
He said, "I don't know.
He goes, I play sports. I don't watch them.
I don't watch
I
them."
was
So
like, dude.
so
Oh,
he
boy.
did. So clean sweep.
Wow.
Boom. 1, 2, 3. Right in. Like we were like running through them. It was awesome. We had so much fun.
We got Doug in our chat throwing down the Sith code here. He's going, strike them down, show no mercy.
And we did it. We showed them no mercy. It was
you are
so much
you are
fun.
officially Sith now.
We are Sith.
Congratulations.
Cameron is a Sith. Sith Cameron.
That's all it took. Darth Cameron, the cruel.
Darth Cameron the Cruel. That's
Love
right.
It. Love it. Well, congrats,
All
Cam,
right. So that was
on the incoming kitty cat.
yeah. So
Very
that was
excited about
our
it.
highlight.
Love it.
Did you wanna?
Is there any Star Wars? I think we got a couple.
I have one
news.
fun Star Wars news.
Sure.
Bye.
Hey, bye, Cam.
Bye.
Star Wars news.
Star Wars news.
I'm wondering if your Star Wars news is the same as my Star Wars news.
Does it, Marty?
Yes, it does. That's the one. Love it. We got to go back.
We gotta go back. Get it up to 88 miles an hour so we can go back
If there is
to the future.
there is no DeLorean shaped.
So much fun stuff about that. One, there is the new poster of the Mandalorian, which had a picture of Mando with the DeLorean
Right.
doors up
Right.
behind him. Another one I saw, somebody said, if his character is not Del Mandalorian, then
Right.
they're letting everybody down.
That's it. It's just they write themselves these things.
Yeah.
Obviously, some people might be going, I still don't know what you're talking about. Rumor has it.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, I don't think it's even a rumor at this point.
No,
I think
it's
pretty confirmed
it's firm. Yeah.
It's firm.
It's firm.
Christopher Lloyd has been cast in The Mandalorian.
In The Mandalorian.
Season 3.
Yes. So what will he be? Who knows? But
Probably something eccentric. Maybe an alien. I wonder if they'd make him an alien.
oh my gosh, can you imagine if he was like completely covered in prosthetics and you don't even see him
Like
at
that.
all?
It seems like that would be a waste,
Just like
right?
yeah, it would totally be a waste. Like that's something you put on like a D-list celebrity,
Yeah.
like somebody that you I know that guy.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
But not Chris Lloyd.
But
Like
not
Christopher Lloyd. And Christopher Lloyd's not a cameo either. You need to give him a role.
Yeah,
Like, he
you
needs
give
to
him
be
you give him a Nick
recurring
Nolte
character.
role,
Yes.
like a good
Yeah.
recurring role. But yeah, so
I'm all for it.
I'm all for it.
You know, maybe he's like some old weathered Mandalorian. Like that'd be
Yeah,
pretty rad to
that
see
would
him
be
as this
really
old,
cool.
you know, I think that would like buck the trend. I mean, people think he's going to be like, oh, he'll probably be like a crazy old dude, right? But
Right.
maybe not.
So here's what I was thinking. Since Star Wars takes place a long time ago
Sure.
in a galaxy far, far away,
Correct.
he could go to the future
Right.
when we have spaceships that can travel to other galaxies.
Right.
So he can take his DeLorean to the future, get on one of those spaceships, load the DeLorean in the spaceship, go to the galaxy that Star Wars takes place in,
Right.
and then drive the DeLorean back in time to a long time ago,
Right.
and then he could just be
Doc Brown.
Doc Brown.
Dr.
Yeah.
Emmett Brown.
Dr. Emmett Brown.
And so, all right. Because, I mean, now here's... Okay, so we have to dissect this here because really he wouldn't be bringing the DeLorean back. He'd probably be bringing the giant train time machine
From
the third movie, right? Because assuming we're picking up where we left
because
off.
the DeLorean did get smashed by the train.
Right, as it flew off.
Yes.
So, but like now he's got a train time machine. So who's to say he didn't take the flying train time machine and like remake the DeLorean?
Right, or
maybe
make
we
the
just
train flying time machine into a rocket ship.
Right, or like give it some sort of light speed capacity, right?
Yes.
Like the flux capacitor.
The
Maybe
flux
he can,
capacitor,
he
put
can
it
juice
into
it up into
right.
like a hyperdrive.
Yes, so he can put a flux capacitor, turn the flux. So did Doc Brown create Star Wars?
Wow, you heard it here, folks.
Doc Brown created what is it when they
hyperspace?
Hyperspace, yeah.
Maybe he did.
He did.
Maybe
It's
the
all
flux
built off the
capacitor,
flux
that's
capacitor.
it.
So now we need to go back to the original 1977 Star Wars and find a flux capacitor in the wall somewhere and be like,
There it
bam,
is.
there
Right
it is.
there.
It's right there.
There was some guys I went to high school with. They were in this band, and he wrote a song called "The Flux Capacitor."
Okay.
And it's literally just the flux capacitor makes time travel possible, just a million times over. And
Right.
over. And it's still stuck in my head 20 years later.
20 years later. You still remember
There it is. Oh boy! So was that our only Star Wars news
That
for
was
the day?
that was the big one. That and so and I heard this on Ears Up. So I'm what's the word? Paraphrasing what the Ears Up news story is.
Sure.
And they were actually discussing it more in depth as well. But that Halcyon spaceship / hotel that we've been talking about, that is $5,000 a night. Yes. For the whole second half of 2022, you can get tickets every single day.
It's still wide open.
Like it's not completely sold out.
Wow.
And
that doesn't bode well for a brand new Disney attraction.
No. And so they were like, well, it could be a little deceiving in the fact that if there's one room left, it still makes it appear that there's rooms left.
Right.
But they were also saying if there's only one room left, then you would think the next 2-day adventure might be booked up.
Right.
You know, like if it was only one room left, it would be staggered throughout. But considering you can go anytime you want in the second half of 2022,
not looking
it's
like
not looking good.
I mean, who would have thought that $5,000 for 2 nights of Tony and Tina's wedding just wasn't something people might be interested in? After airfare and
airfare on top of it, and then you got to also realize like you're not going to go just for that. You're not going to fly to Florida just for
2 days
36
in and then
hours.
fly back.
Yeah.
No, you're going to
You know.
also go to Disney. You'll get the day passes for all the, that's an extra,
Yeah.
however much that is for your family.
There's
You're going to need a new hotel after you're out of there.
yeah. There's so many articles that I've been reading that say, like one of them says the average family spends around $2,000 on a vacation,
Right.
or maybe even like $2,000 a person. Like a cruise, for a family of 4 for a cruise is around $5,000-$6,000. But a cruise is 7 days.
Right.
A 7-day cruise is going to be somewhere
And usually,
between
aren't they like all inclusive?
all inclusive. Now, yeah, have a drink package also, but
Right,
even
but
this,
like for food, you can
yeah,
get you get your
food,
food
and you can
stuff,
eat as
yeah.
much food as you want on a cruise. If you when it's lobster tail dinner night, if you want 2
go
lobster
nuts.
tails, bring me another
Bringing
one.
them around,
Keep
right?
bringing
This
them
is
around.
where I make all my money back.
Yeah, I'm eating $5,000 worth of lobster
it.
tail tonight. Keep bringing them. So that's for 7 days.
Yeah.
They're saying this is for 2.
And it's $5,000.
And it's
for 2.
$5,000 for 2. So the fact that it is still open a lot, it doesn't surprise me at all. Like, would I do it? And would you do it?
Sure.
In a heartbeat.
Sure. If someone let us do it for free,
Right.
absolutely.
Not for $5,000. I'm not spending 2 months' salary for 36 hours of cosplay.
Yeah, that's essentially what it
That's
is.
essentially what it is.
Probably some pretty decent cosplay, but
Yeah. Yeah.
not worth it.
So I hope that they do something to make it better somehow, or more,
Or lower the price.
Lower the
to
price.
make it more realistic for
Yeah.
Again, it bums me out because like I haven't been to Disney since I was a senior in high school, and I went on my marching band trip for that. And like my wife and I have been together for 14 years, and I've always been, it'd be great to go to Disney. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Like Disney, like growing up, the thought was always like, oh, Disney, it's that place that everyone goes. But like, was it always this like ridiculously,
No.
obscenely expensive? Because like
No.
it's coming to the point now where
Yeah.
it's not accessible for normal people.
No, exactly. And they're also not giving you any more and charging you more.
right.
Like you used
Like
to have
everything right now, anyway.
Yeah. You used to have fast passes that were built into your ticket. So you could skip 3 rides at a time, the line for 3 rides at a time. Now you have Genie Plus, which costs $15 extra a day
To do the same thing.
per person to do
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yep.
And then on top of it, some of the more fancier, more expensive, more newer, bigger ticket rides, whatever, like the the Star Wars ride.
Yeah.
You have to get Genie Plus, and then you have to spend another, I think it's another $10 or $12
To
just for that ride.
qualify to-
yeah.
yeah.
And you can't buy just that ticket for that ride without getting the Genie Plus. So now you're up to $30 extra on top of the cost
for
of
the
the
one
ticket,
ride.
just for the one ride.
Yeah.
On top of the cost of the ticket, which is more than it was last year and the year before.
Yep.
And so they just keep charging more and more money, and then they're complaining that they don't have any money. And I'm like, how is that even possible?
Yep.
My
Well,
stocks are
because-
going up.
I mean, I don't know. I guess because, they're charging more money, so they're making a lot of money on the people who come, but less and less people are going to be able to come.
Yeah, but everybody's saying it's packed, and it's completely like over.
I get the feeling it's going to be packed for a little while, especially now that COVID's kind of on the wayside and
way
people are
out,
trying
yeah.
to like break out of this. And
It's been
go
like
out.
2 years since they've been able to go. So
but maybe who knows? Maybe in a year or so it'll be like we're back to normal, and Disney's like, well, why is our attendance down?
Yeah.
Because people aren't chomping at the bit to go somewhere anymore.
right,
So-
yeah, and it's you're out. You're costing everybody or pricing everybody out of the market or whatever.
Yep.
So, yeah. So I don't know. So that's all I had for the news. But speaking of Christopher Lloyd, did you ever watch Taxi? Now for you, it
Sure.
would be it was a rerun.
Yeah, I was on Nick at Night when I was a kid.
Okay, yeah, because even for me, like, it was too mature for me as a kid. I think it was in like the late 70s, early 80s. But for those of you who are even younger than us, Taxi was a sitcom about taxi drivers, and it was like
Isn't Danny DeVito in
Danny
that one
DeVito
too?
was in it, and who's the boss? What's his name?
Oh. That's gonna annoy me.
Is it also a Danny? No.
It's not Danson, right? Not Ted.
No, not Ted Danson.
Not Ted Danson. Tony Danza.
Tony Danza. That's it. Tony Danza.
Because I was thinking, hold me closer, Tony Danza. There it is. Right?
So it was Tony Danza. So Christopher, No, Christopher Lloyd's character, and he was slower than the average person on there. But he was like, "Oh, I have to take my driving test again." They're like, "Well, okay." They're like, "You want us to go over some of the questions with you?" He's like, "Sure, go ahead."
That's that's a good one.
Thank you.
That's a good Christopher Lloyd, honestly.
And they're like, "Okay, what do you do?" Oh wait, how did it? Or he asked the other guy. So he goes, "What do you do at a yellow light?" And they go, "Slow down." What do you do at a yellow light? They're like,
That's
slow
great.
down. What?
Oh man, I wonder if that's streaming anywhere. Taxi.
I'm
That's gotta be
sure
streaming
it's got to be
somewhere, right?
streaming somewhere. You would think
Like
so.
Paramount Plus or something.
Yeah.
Crap like
Oh
that.
my gosh. So Christopher Lloyd, all the way
That's gonna be a
back
great
from
addition,
Taxi.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. So he's awesome. So maybe he'll be flying the DeLorean around somewhere. It would be
can only
great.
hope.
That would be the perfect Easter egg if there was just even like the flux capacitor with the air vents or something, just in a pile
Just
of
in the
trash
background
somewhere. Just in the
somewhere.
background somewhere.
Just something to let us know that
Just
like
something.
us two guys.
Yeah,
Us two.
yeah. Even like the words "out of time." If they wrote the words "out of time"
in like what is it?
Arabic, yeah. If it was written in Arab, that would be perfect.
That's it.
That's all you need.
I think that's actually the best way to do it.
Yes.
It doesn't take you out of it. You'd really like someone on Reddit is gonna find it.
Right.
And, like translate and that'll be
translate it.
big and that's
Yeah.
the way you do the fan service.
Yes, that would make everybody happy. I'm sure, 100%.
Well, 98%.
98%.
Can't make everyone in the internet happy.
Because they're still gonna be like, "Oh, why did they do that?"
Oh, it just takes me out. I can read fluent Arabic, and so it just took me out of the
It
moment.
just took me out of the moment. It's so stupid. It's not even the same galaxy or anything like this. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
I'm never watching Star Wars again. So yeah. So oops. So that is all I have for news.
What do you think? Should we like take a commercial break?
Yeah, let's do that.
I bought 6 of those for my sister last night.
So okay.
And she liked 5 of the 6.
Nice.
5 of the 6. The 6th one she said was a little tight.
Okay.
But the 5 of them of
Well,
that
they
particular
fit
product
nicely,
were
yeah.
very good.
So the last show that I watched of ours that I listened to, the commercial, it was for LinkedIn. So I don't know how your sister would be wearing LinkedIn, but
Hey man, don't put me in a box. I can do a lot of things you don't even know about. All right.
there you go.
Oh boy. So yeah, it's a weird day because we're not strictly a Star Wars podcast anymore. Apparently, right?
Yeah.
So
Nick said, "I don't know anything about Star Wars
nothing.
anymore."
I've lost all of my Star Wars interest. I'm done with it. I'm
done.
over it.
Over
you know,
it.
it's a little kiddie. It's a little childish. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, we come to this crossroads here at Banthamilk Podcast, wherein we get to the end of a season. There's a lull in news. There's a lull in content, and we decide, well, do we want to take a break, or do we want to keep talking to each other and bantering and drinking? And that's the thing we want to do.
And this is the only time I ever get to drink. So
This is it, right?
is
Rob.
it.
Other
So-
than this, Rob, he's like a choir boy.
Yep,
He does
choir
his
boy.
taxes. He goes to bed at 9 p.m.
So we started a giant weight loss.
Are you doing the Biggest Loser
Biggest
thing?
Loser competition at school? Yeah, and I'm always in it to win it, which is great because I always wind up losing a whole bunch of weight,
Sure.
and then I'm very proud of myself. And then summer
And then
hits.
by the next year, you're ready
Yeah,
to lose
I'm
all
right
that weight
back.
again.
I'm like, let's go. I can do it all over again. So I'm going to the gym at 5 a.m.
wow. What gym?
Planet Fitness, free plug. Yeah,
Because they need it.
they need it.
Planet
yeah.
Fitness, you never see them anywhere.
No, they never have commercials on television ever.
man.
So yeah,
I got to get back to the gym. I haven't gone to the gym in months. I used to go 5-6 days a week.
Well, I mean that I didn't go at all until I went like 2 or 3 times all year until this, and I'm like, I need this competition to start.
Yeah.
I have no willpower otherwise.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like you always see like weight loss ads, and this company, that company, and blah blah blah. And here's what it comes down to. It just comes down to willpower.
Yeah.
Now these companies and things like that, they help you with your willpower because they teach you, or they give you smaller food sizes, or this or that, or your
Right.
points, so that that's the
It all
willpower
boils down
that
to
some people
willpower,
need.
yeah.
But it all boils down to willpower, because if you have 100 points, you can say, to heck with it and eat a whole bag of Doritos and
Reese's
go,
Cups.
oh well, Reese's
100
Cups.
points in Reese's Cups.
Yeah, you know,
and you're fine.
You know, so
It's literally just calories in, calories out. It's like,
Yeah.
I have a friend, a very close friend of mine who's actually a nutritionist, and she's a trainer, and she like wages war on Instagram against like all the fad diets and all the cleanses and stuff like that. And she's like, it's just so stupid because it's so easy.
Yeah.
Like just less calories in than out.
Yeah,
and
you
will
lose
lose
weight.
That is how it works.
Yeah, if it's weird, and I hate it because everybody at work always says to me, "Oh, it's so easy for you to lose weight." No, it's not.
No.
I stop eating every junk that I normally eat. I stop, like I'll only drink iced tea at like breakfast, and then after the rest of the day, I'm just drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have a small breakfast, a salad for lunch, and then I have a normal dinner, but I won't have everybody's leftovers at dinner, and then I won't eat anything after that, and I go to the gym. Same thing, one of the other teachers who left and is at a different district now, he and I used to say the same thing all the time. It's weird. If you take in less calories than you burn, you lose weight. I don't understand why everybody's like, it's so weird. But it's the same exact thing that she was saying. And I'm like, no, it's not easy for me. It's super hard because, believe me, I want to eat a whole bag of Doritos right now also.
Yep.
But I don't. I go to the gym. I run on the elliptical 4 or 5 miles a day. You know, I work out hard. And I eat a lot less, and I eat better than I normally would. And bam, magic, I lose weight.
Yep.
So, so it's all about willpower.
I
so,
get
yes.
back to it, man. It's funny, too, though. I actually haven't gained weight.
Well, that's good.
I've definitely lost some muscle mass, and I'm like, man, I got to start running or something because like I get winded so easily. I have no endurance.
Mm-hmm.
But like I can still do pull-ups. Like the other day I was walking in the hallway and where all the students do their pull-ups.
Yep,
you know, I'm like,
yeah.
oh, I wonder if I can still do any. And I could. I was like, okay. So long as I can still lift my body weight up a couple times, I'm like, all right.
You're
but
like, okay.
I do need to get back to it. We got a squat rack for our basement.
Okay.
For Christmas, but like we don't have any of the stuff for it.
Okay.
So, like, and that's all. It's so expensive.
Yeah. Oh,
but, you
yeah.
know, the squat rack is the biggest,
Yeah.
expenditure. So now we can start piecemealing things from Facebook Marketplace.
Right.
And stuff.
Oh, yeah. Get us some weights here and there and bars and whatever. Yeah.
But anyway, I think we were gonna.
We were going to talk about something different. We were going to talk about Peacemaker.
Yeah. So
because you just talked about it on that other podcast, so
yeah.
it's fresh in your memory.
Yes, indeed. So I, like I mentioned earlier, I was on the Geekery update, and they were chatting Peacemaker. I always mess that up. And we're gonna go to a galaxy closer to home.
Closer to home
with our newer thing here, because we're gonna talk a little bit of some stuff about stuff outside of Star Wars every now and then, because we like talking and we like making this podcast, right? So, did you watch Peacekeeper? I watched all of Peacekeeper in a 28-hour window or so.
See, that's the difference. You just recently watched
It's
it,
all fresh
and it's
in
all
my
real
mind.
fresh in your mind. I watched it a
while
while
ago,
ago. I did rewatch some of it last night,
Right.
and I fell asleep. Because I was late, but like episode 3, I fell asleep. I woke up this morning and it was still running.
Yeah.
But I wanted to rewatch it just to refresh my memory, so that I was more caught up on what you were going to say all about it.
Yeah. And,
But,
I don't think we need to do a full-fledged review, but it's just really cool. First of all, if you haven't seen Peacemaker, it's on HBO Max. It's great.
Yes.
It's really good, and I'm surprised by how good it is because, I mean, DC just has not been known for their product output, except recently they seem to be killing it.
Yeah, well,
I still haven't seen Batman yet. They talked Batman on the Geekery update the other day, too, and I was like, guys, just talk away. I don't care about spoilers because I haven't seen it yet.
And it's your fault at this point.
Yeah,
it's
it
been
really
out for a
is.
couple weeks.
And,
It's like,
but it is coming to HBO Max, I heard.
oh, okay. I believe they do that.
Like end of April, I think
Okay.
I heard. So
Okay.
Maybe soon I'll get to watch
Yeah.
it on HBO Max. But Peacemaker was great, man. It
Yeah.
was so good.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I agree. Now, I know you said you wanted to watch Suicide Squad first.
I did watch Suicide Squad first. And that was good too. I was really confused coming out of it because I was like expecting Peacemaker to be a bigger part of it. I mean, he was integral, but like I thought, they made a whole series about him afterwards. He probably is like a really important character, and he was just kind of like another one of the squad.
Yeah.
But he was certainly one of the best parts of it. If
Right.
not. I mean, I think part of it is just John Cena's charming as hell. Like he's just a funny, awesome guy.
For starting his career as a wrestler, as a pro wrestler, he's a really good actor in that role.
Yeah, like
I don't.
you see The Rock, and you're like, oh, The Rock is The Rock, and he's in another movie, and you go, oh, look, it's The Rock.
It's The
It's
Rock,
The Rock.
yeah.
He's not a great actor, but he's
Yeah.
The Rock.
He was
great for like voice acting, like in as Maui. I thought he was perfect. Like,
Yeah.
that sort of stuff is awesome for him.
Yeah.
We'll see how Black Adam goes. I'm not really all that excited about Black Adam. We'll see. But John Cena, like, aside from the fact that he's hysterical, like
Yes.
his delivery is awesome. Like,
Uh-huh.
he's just a good actor, a
Yeah.
comic actor. He has like timing. What was the movie with him and Amy Schumer?
Oh, was it Trainwreck?
Trainwreck.
Trainwreck.
Yeah, there's that movie theater scene in Trainwreck that was like the first time I was like, oh my god, this guy's just hysterical.
He's
so
yeah, he's a really good actor.
And I
I
think-
will give him that. So.
And there were parts of this too where it was not just that. It was his facial expression. And you ask any actor, and they'll tell you that acting mostly comes from the eyes and the face. It's about the expressions you make and stuff. And you like look in his eyes during some of the more dramatic scenes, and he's
Okay.
like selling it.
yeah,
Like he was
oh,
really
yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, like it was a lot of fun because they didn't include him in why he's doing what he's doing.
Right.
And you can see his confusion. He's angry, and all at the same time. Then when, like, how much he loves Eagly.
Yeah, somehow they managed to make a character that's just about as lovable as Baby Yoda.
As Baby Yoda.
Like
yeah.
Eagly, as soon as I met Eagly, I went, if someone touches a feather on Eagly's head, I'm going to lose it. And they did, and I almost lost it, man.
Like the first episode was so funny.
Yeah.
Everything he was doing in it was so funny.
Yep.
And
It's the dialogue, too.
the
Just
dialogue
like
is good.
when they go on their tangents, that
Uh-huh.
it's like, this conversation should have ended 45 seconds ago.
Yeah.
But it's still going, and
It's
it's
still
still
going.
hysterical.
Yeah. And it's like you can really see the depth of the characters in this.
Mm-hmm.
When he kept calling the one guy
Diebeard.
Diebeard, yeah. Over and over again, you could tell like the guy was legitimately getting angry.
Every time it was like getting on him a little more.
But at the same time, you can tell like John Cena's character, and then when they do flashbacks of him as a kid and things like that, like he's always been the strong kid. He's always been the bully almost type of a kid. So this is what bullies do: is they find something that irritates you and they keep pushing that and keep nudging and nudging and nudging.
Right.
And it was almost like this was his way of showing love to people, was by irritating them to no end.
Yeah, and digging
And digging,
like,
and-
and there's people like that.
Yeah.
There's
Oh, yeah.
there's people who like don't know how to show their emotions. And
Right.
They're like, yeah. And I think that the relationship with him and Vigilante perfectly kind of
Yes.
showed that. I loved Vigilante. He might have been my favorite character.
So
he was
Vigilante,
so funny.
I'm watching it and I'm like, I know that voice.
Yeah.
So there was a Netflix series with Kevin James where they're race car drivers.
Okay.
Supposed to be on like the NASCAR circuit. I forget what the name of it is right now, but he was one of the race car drivers in it, and it was really funny because in it, he was like the hunky young kid.
I'm sorry, my face looks crazy because I'm just now realizing that he was Cormac McLagan in the Harry Potter series.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So you said it was. I'm trying to figure out what the name of it was. I'm on his thing here. Lady Godiva. Pitch Perfect, After Dark, Extraterrestrial, The Inbetweeners. These are movies, though. You said it was a TV show?
TV show on
The Crew?
Netflix. The Crew.
Yeah,
He was
there
on
you
The
go.
Crew. So I was like, that's how I know him.
Oh, my God. He was Dick on Tarly in Game of Thrones. How did I not put this together? Like, it's so clear that that's who. Wow. All right. I know. This is like the second or third time where, like, in the past couple of weeks, where, like, there's been a character that I've had no idea it was someone, and I went, oh, my God, I've seen this guy in a bunch of things. But, yeah I mean, that's hysterical. Yeah, he was, Dick on Tarly. He got fried by Drogon. That's hysterical. All right.
So yeah, so I'm like, I know that voice, and then when he's in this, he's like an annoying nudge, like
He's your exactly what he was, right? He's your like your buddy's younger brother,
Yeah.
like that, like sticks around and like you like tolerate him and like you pick on him, but like he looks up to you, so he's like, oh, he's just picking on me.
Yeah, he's just picking on me. He's okay.
And then it turns out he's insane.
He's insane. he's clinically insane. Like it's funny. Peacemaker realizes like maybe like 2 or 3 episodes in that his philosophy of
I'll kill everyone. Or
I'm gonna
right?
make peace by killing everyone.
Every man. I don't care how many men, women, or children I got to kill to get it. Right.
Yeah. So
He starts realizing maybe that's flawed.
maybe that's a flawed philosophy there.
Vigilante doesn't.
Yes. Vigilante's like, dude, let's kill all these people. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like, he just wants to kill people.
Yep.
He doesn't even care.
And it's they managed to find a way. I don't understand. They make it endearing.
They do.
Oh, look at him.
Yeah.
What a
like,
guy.
Even and then going back to the very beginning when even the whole first episode is just so good. It's just so good. Like, because you really get to know all the character development is really good in that first episode. And then and then it goes on and they develop as a family and they really start to like bond and
like in that when we have the picture and what do they call themselves, the 11th Street Gang or something, 11th Street Kids or something. I don't even remember.
I remember, but
they have like their little chat, their group chat with them in it.
But just like they're like, who is when she's like, who's the guy hiding behind the dumpster over there? And he's like, Vigilante, get out of here. He's like, you can't see me or whatever. And he's just like, he's so dumb. He's such like that, like you said, like that little brother that's just always there and annoying.
Yep.
And then they wind up like bringing him in and he's helping out and whatever. And it's just like so much fun. And
it's when, now again, I haven't seen Batman and I know Batman's a completely different thing, but I feel like when DC movies have been at their best are when they stop taking themselves so damn seriously.
yeah.
You know, like Shazam was awesome.
Yeah.
Like I loved Shazam, and it was cool, and it was really good and interesting and hysterical. Like
You're
it was
right.
great. And it was Suicide Squad was really good, but I thought Peacemaker was even better at this. And it I don't know, because it's like a superhero thing,
Right.
but they're not really superheroes, right? Like Peacemaker is like a human, like he's a dude.
He's a dude, but he's like, which is what I'm like kind of, and even the girl, I forget what her name is.
Harcourt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even like in the beginning when she's like in the barn, she just like beats up the dude. Like,
Right.
they're kind of almost like a Hawkeye type superhero.
Right.
Where they're not from another planet. They're not like, they didn't get super serum or
Right.
anything
They're
like
just
that.
the peak of human capabilities.
Of human capabilities and like.
And you forget, I almost forgot it was a superhero movie until like we met the first butterfly and she throws him like across the room. I'm like, oh, right, this is superhero
this
stuff.
is superhero stuff.
Yeah.
And even like when he's escaping the apartment complex and he can't just like jump
out
down 10 flights of steps. And
He's got to like.
He keeps banging on, like falling into every single balcony and like hurting himself. And
Yep.
But it's like
Right after the doc said, hey, maybe take it easy.
Yeah, you know. So it's like, so it's fun. Like they have a super strength to them, but they're not invincible super strength. Mm-hmm. And I do, like Marvel has their thing, which is amazing. Like
Jordak is saying that they replaced Vigilante 5 episodes in and had to do reshoots.
That's interesting.
I wonder who played him first.
I don't know.
that
Jordak,
up.
do you know who played him first?
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, but like Marvel has their thing where, and even like DC, like Superman is Superman. Like
Right.
Superman's the alien from the other planet who just does everything and can do anything. But like Peacemaker is more like Batman, where he's
Sorry.
that's all right.
Go on.
Where he's like a normal person who is super strong, but not a Superman type person.
Mm-hmm.
So
Chris Conrad was originally slated to play Vigilante, who he was known for his roles as Jason in Young Hercules and Eric McGowan in The Next Karate Kid, and he was in Patriot. I don't really know this guy.
no.
He was in Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh, okay. He kind of looks very similar to the new Vigilante. He probably just wasn't as good of an actor.
Yeah.
Couldn't do like.
Well, it says creative differences.
Okay.
It says let's when I'm looking at the Wikipedia thing.
Maybe he didn't want to do any naked scenes.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it just says in late May, Freddie Stroma was cast to replace Conrad as Vigilante after Conrad left the series due to creative differences. That's all it says.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, either
that
way,
is interesting.
I think it was a great addition.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who I think maybe like did the best performance, and I don't know if it's the best because it seems to me like it was the hardest performance to do. Was Robert Patrick, the guy who played the White Dragon?
Okay.
His dad.
His dad.
Because like how do you put yourself in that role? Like
Oh,
that's
I
got to be
know.
the hardest role to like
Yep.
how vile like
Yeah.
you know, you can play Thanos. Like
Yeah, because
Josh Brolin.
you're an alien from another planet.
And you snap and half the people theoretically die, and that's bad.
Right.
But like you see him like saying this vile stuff.
Vile
just
stuff.
Like
Racist, anti-Semitic.
racist, and you're like this guy, like how does he manage this?
Yeah.
That's got to be a tough role to play.
Yeah, because you got to know, like, people are dumb, and they take
Oh yeah,
you as that
this
character. And
I mean, look at Rose Tico
yeah,
in
like
Star Wars.
she was getting hate, and she was just playing a role, and it
Yep.
wasn't even her fault. She didn't
Yep.
write anything. She didn't write herself out of the show. Other people wrote her out and made her obsolete or useless, I guess. You know,
Right.
like so they were hating on her. So if you're that bad of a well, even like Jim and Pam.
Yeah, exactly that. Right?
And The
Pam was
Office.
getting all sorts, or Jenna Fisher was getting all sorts of stuff, or when Jim is in public with Emily Blunt, right? Or when what's his name? They're like, oh, but you're not Pam.
And also when Jim went to the other city and started
Philadelphia,
dating.
yeah.
When he started dating the girl who went on the Parks and Rec also.
Yeah, Ann Perkins. Ann Perkins.
Yeah.
Rashida Jones.
Rashida Jones. Like, Rashida Jones was getting hate because they're like, you're keeping Jim from Pam. And she's like...
The writers are doing that.
they're like,
I'm just collecting my paycheck.
yeah. She's like, I'm just playing a role. Like,
oh, gosh.
none of this is real. So, yeah. So, to play somebody that is that evil, and it's like a normal character. Like you said with Thanos. Thanos is an alien. And at least in Thanos' mind... he was doing the right thing because he saw what happened to his planet when the population got too big. So he was, in his own demented way, was trying to save the galaxy.
And you know, and maybe it's just because like it's half the universe. It's not all the people of color. It's not all the it's
all the
half
Twi'leks.
the universe.
I'm not killing all the Twi'leks.
Right? Every single Kree, they're gone because I hate Kree.
I hate Kree.
It's just half the universe. Whereas this guy's like, hey, I hate minorities, and you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
because that hits home. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, it's stuff that's real.
It's real, yeah.
Versus, there's not really an alien who snaps his fingers.
Yeah.
And it also makes me wonder about like what amount of the population decided to turn Peacemaker off because they decided, oh, this is political now. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, could be.
Because there is some of that with the American flag
Mm-hmm.
being upside down, and they kind of talk a little bit about like deep state stuff. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And that's
yeah.
like that's stuff that some people like talk about and believe. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering how many people like started watching this as like a Suicide Squad spinoff. Like, oh, this one, and then it got to that, and they're like, oh, this is political. I'm over it. And they
Yeah,
just
I
kinda
can
turned it off.
see people doing that, and
I mean, they do it with everything. I
they
feel
do.
like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, people. That's what I have to say. Just people.
So yeah, if you have not seen Peacemaker, go check it out. So just the whole kind of thing was about, and all of this is from the comics, right?
Right,
So it's,
yeah.
it's all based in that, the Butterfly, Project Butterfly, which is hysterical because I guess everything in this universe is just going to be very literal.
Yeah,
we had Project
like
Starfish,
which was a giant starfish.
and then Project. I love. Are we gonna have a Mothra? Are we fighting a Mothra? How am I supposed to fight a Mothra without a gun? and then when Diebeard is going down to place the box, he's like, no more kaiju. I'm done with kaiju. Yeah, that cow was nasty, man.
It was nasty.
I didn't know. I was wondering, like, is that cow even happy? Like,
Yeah.
it looked upset.
It looked very upset. I mean, I would be upset too. I would think so.
Yep.
But yeah, so it was a very fun series,
And it was already greenlit for a second season.
okay.
Right, so we're gonna get more, which I'm
So
excited about.
even I forget what her name is, but the girl who was like the spy for her mom, the mom.
Oh, she played Tasty in Orange Is the New Black.
Yes.
Oh, that's gonna annoy me. Hold on, I'll look her up. Leota Adebayo. That's
yeah.
Danielle Brooks.
Yeah, even she was like, she like everybody had a coming of age. Like she was like, oh, I realized like maybe these guys aren't as bad, like it's not really their fault. And the girl that Peacemaker was hitting on the
Harcourt.
Harcourt, yeah. She comes around also, and she's like, okay. But like and even Peacemaker, he comes around. And he's like, okay, maybe like there was one part where they were like, you're gonna have to go kill this guy's family. They might be butterflies.
Right, but he didn't know what a butterfly was.
He didn't. He's like,
They
well,
didn't
somebody
what does that mean?
tell me what
Yeah.
a butterfly is. What does this mean?
Which is a huge turnaround from where we saw him in Peacemaker, where he killed his like hero, right? The guy in
the army guy or the guy in charge because he
was
given different orders than what Peacemaker was given, and Peacemaker's orders were to, and then and even in going back to that, he's like, I destroyed the information, so the mom didn't want that information to get out because she knew it would say that I think it was that the U.S. government like built this or whatever.
Right.
I think that's how it went or whatever. So she didn't want anybody knowing that it was
right,
our own
because the
fault.
starfish, right?
The starfish,
because they are the ones who found it in like whatever, and they brought it
brought it back,
yeah.
and they were the ones that put it together or
Right.
whatever the deal was. So then at the end they were like, she's like, okay, well, just kill everybody. We got our mission here is done. And they were like, no, the starfish is still going to be attacking the city or whatever. She's like, I don't care anymore. And so you could see like how evil she was. And then, they turned on her and whatever. So
And I honestly, I thought it was super poetic, and you just made me think of it. You remember what the last thing the starfish said before he died?
no.
So like all the like everything blows up and stuff, and there's just one dude like with the starfish on his face left, and he says, "I was happy, floating, staring at the stars."
Oh, okay.
And it was just this kind of cool thing where it was like there was this big kaiju monster taking over the thing. He said, "This is my town," and at the end he was like, "Y'all brought me here.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even want to be
I didn't
here.
wanna
I
be
was
here.
happily floating,
Yeah.
staring at the stars, and you brought me here, and now I'm dead."
And now I'm dead. Thanks
which-
for killing me. Yeah.
So it was just really cool. Like it makes you think. That's what I think good stuff like this does. It makes you think that's the villain, but were they the villain? Like really,
Yeah.
they became the villain because we turned them into the villain.
Because we turned them into the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they were
Which
happy.
is the same with the butterflies, right?
Yeah, yeah. The butterflies, I mean, their whole purpose to come was to save humanity,
right, yeah.
Earth or whatever. And now, once again, it was kind of like a Thanos type thing where they were
Right.
saving it by taking over everybody. But
Right, and that was sick, man. The way
Yeah.
every time I saw one of those butterfly get into the people's throats, I'm like, oh my god,
yeah,
it's
oh,
horrifying.
it was
And
horrifying.
they're grabbing them, trying to rip them out of their mouths. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, oh,
No, thank you.
yeah, it was bad. But I do like if DC keeps going this route.
Mm-hmm.
I do like this new route for DC.
Yeah.
Because I didn't mind Justice League, me personally.
Right.
I felt like they were trying to do too much like Marvel.
Right.
I grew up watching the cartoon Justice League on
Right.
Saturday mornings, and I was perfectly fine with it. I think I even told you before, like, my favorite superhero when I was a kid was Aquaman because I
Right.
love swimming.
Sure.
So I was like, this guy's awesome. I don't care that all he could do was talk to fish and whatever.
Loved Aquaman's inclusion in this too, by the way. That last cameo in the very
Oh,
end.
my God,
with
it's
him and Flash.
Him, Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman, all of them.
But you could tell they couldn't afford Henry Cavill or what's his name, the guy who plays
Aquaman.
or the girl who
Or
plays
even
Wonder Woman.
Gal Gadot.
Yeah,
yeah.
'Cause you didn't see their faces. They
No,
were just.
everybody was all just blacked
But they
out.
could afford Flash, and they could afford, I guess, Aquaman.
Yeah.
And it was just perfect too because it was like they swore at each other. And it was like, that's not true.
Yeah. And the whole Aquaman teaser thing, where they kept making fun of Aquaman,
Yeah,
and it was
for
like,
his relations with fish.
yeah, and he's like, you're telling me that Charlie 69420 is lying on
Yeah, on the internet.
On the
That's what
internet.
people do. They lie on the internet. Oh, true to life. Unfortunately.
Jordak said, Peacemaker finale had the biggest single-day performance for a Max original series ever, and the final viewing was up 44% over the premiere.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty cool. That's
like
from
that.
James Gunn said that. So that
James
is pretty
Gunn,
cool.
He'd know a thing or two about
He
that.
would know. Yes.
Oh, man. So, yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, go see Peacemaker. It's on HBO Max.
It's fun. It's very entertaining.
It's outstanding. There's
It's not too serious.
no, but there is definitely
there's
some
definitely
stuff.
seriousness to it.
Yeah.
And it's a good twist on superheroes. Like even I don't know if you watched The Boys, but even The Boys was that way, where it's like you see superheroes in their off time.
Right.
Where like before you only see, you saw Superman and then Clark Kent, but other than that, you never really see superheroes in their off time.
Sure.
And you see like the stress that it causes on them and stuff like that, and even like with Peacemaker, just the hundreds of different helmets that he had,
Right.
and all the different stuff, and when he was like looting the girl's apartment, and he's like, oh, I really like these records, so he's taking the records and stuff, like you would think a superhero. Well, I mean, he was supposed to be in jail, so I
Right.
guess he doesn't have millions of dollars or whatever,
No.
but. So it is fun that, in my opinion, because I never read any of the comics. Now, if you're a comic book person, this is probably old news to you.
Right.
But to those of us who just get our superheroes through movies or television shows, it is a fun new twist on what superheroes are really like.
Right. Right. A little more realistic look at what a superhero would be.
Yeah.
And I'm actually watching Invincible right now. Did you ever?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever watch Invincible?
Uh-huh.
I hadn't watched it before. I just started watching it like today, and it's kind of a little more like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's a little. Like I think people are exploring the superhero thing a little differently now. That,
Yeah.
Like there are so many superhero things out there, and we're like oversaturated with it.
Right.
So now it's like, all right, well, no one wants to see the same superhero again.
Yeah.
Let's make something different.
Let's make something different. And it's really tough to make something different because, you have your Superman, which does everything. So anything that you want to do, he can do.
Yeah.
And then you have, your Batman, which is just the average guy, rich guy who has a lot of really
Gadgets.
cool toys and
Right.
gadgets, all the way down to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that get to hang out with Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
so
Man, go ninja, go. God, I grew up on that movie.
I just saw
Turtles
a
in Time,
commercial,
Secret of the
or
Ooze.
he had something on Facebook where he was standing. It might have been like a Halloween costume or
Ooh, Vanilla Ice?
Vanilla Ice. It was like him, and he's like, "Yo, I'm hanging out with Donnie and Mickey here," and there were two, I want to say, kind of not bad cosplay, but cosplay-esque costumes,
yeah.
turtles. So I don't know what it was for, other than the fact that maybe he had like a birthday party for a kid or something, and had
there were
Teenage
turtles
Mutant Ninja
there.
Turtles there. So it was pretty funny.
He used to play a lot on LBI, and there's a bar on Long Beach Island, the Gateway, right when you
Okay.
go off, and he would like be featured. You see Vanilla Ice coming
Okay.
out, and he would go and play like acoustic shows.
That's so
Really
funny.
weird, like in the early 2000s.
Okay, I saw him in the mid 2000s.
Yeah?
And maybe even 210, something like that. There was a Back in the Day tour.
Oh, boy.
It was him, I can't remember, TLC, any like 90s pop, not Boys to Men, they're still too big, but like,
MC Hammer?
no.
No, that would have been
He
the
is,
proper
he is-
timeline.
yeah, he is still
Too big for
too
that?
big for that. Another boy band, but it wasn't Boys to Men or any. I forget who it was. It doesn't matter. But there was like 5 or 6 '90s bands
Yeah.
that were all playing, and Vanilla Ice was the closer.
He was the
And,
closer.
he was the closer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
and it was funny. It ended. All the people that were left just like ran to the stage, and they're just handing him their phones, and he's just like constantly with every single phone, like
Just
hit
taking
picture of him
pictures.
and giving it back to them and whatever. It was really, really funny.
All right.
So yeah, so it was fun seeing him in the late 2000s. I was a huge fan. He was in '91 is when, or maybe '90 because it was my senior year.
Right.
Is when Vanilla Ice came out,
Yeah,
and I
Ice was
remember
big.
in September, everybody loved it. Everybody, I had the same hair, like when
Yeah.
I had that hairstyle.
Sure.
By December, everybody
Everyone was
hated
over
them.
it, right?
Everyone was
Yeah.
over them. They were over them, and then like this is pre-internet.
Yeah, right? Like, imagine how quickly that happened without the internet. That's crazy.
Yeah. So then in like December it comes out, like his publicist was making a story that he was from the like ghetto of Miami.
Right.
And that's where, and then it like came out that he
wasn't.
He was
Yeah, he
growing
was
up
like
in
a
like
rich boy or
a
something.
rich boy in Miami. Yeah.
And that's all it took, huh?
And that's all it took. People were like, he's a liar. And then, boop, and then he went
he's
from
gone.
number 1 down. He had like 2 other songs that never even made like the top 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was a huge fan of Vanilla Ice.
Good old Vanilla.
Good old Vanilla.
All right. Well, it has been our very first episode of A Galaxy Closer to Home.
Closer to home.
I dig it. I think we might just do some more of these. We do have some stuff to look forward to. We've got
Yes.
a little over a month, 2 months? 2 months
The
until
end of
Obi-Wan.
May,
So,
yeah.
2 months till Obi-Wan. So we've got Ahsoka coming out at some point. We got lots of stuff to come, right? So be on the lookout for more of these, as well as other offerings from Banthamilk Podcast.
Yeah.
Anything else for the good of the cause, Mr. Rob?
That's all I got. Go watch Peacemaker. It's fun.
Go watch it.